This championship match scheduled for yesterday, shortly after 4, moved to Monday, 5 o'clock Eastern time. So a late arriving crowd on this workday, but Arthur Ashe Stadium totally sold out. And many have come to see whether or not Roger Federer can make it 5 in a row. That would mean 2 different Grand Slams, 5 consecutive titles. No one in the history of the sport has ever accomplished that.
Roger's getting a lot of support because it hasn't been a cakewalk for him in this tournament, especially that Andreev match in the 16s. He was extended to 5 sets. Muller he struggled against. Djokovic is where he finally showed signs, a couple sets of playing like the old Roger. He's going to start out this match today.
Murray won the toss and elected to receive. He likes returning against Federer.
Likes returning against anybody. He's got one of the best returns in the game, and he's decided he's going to stand back a la Nadal. Way behind the baseline to take the first serve of Federer, just like he did against Rafa yesterday.
And Federer starts with a couple of quick scores off his serve.
When Federer lost to Andy Murray in Dubai earlier this year, he never even got a break point against him. And when Andy beat him in Cincinnati a couple of summers ago, he broke Roger Federer's serve 7 times. 7 times in 2 sets.
Unable to get a ball in play in this opening game, Murray.
It seemed that in Cincinnati he didn't really want to be there, Federer. The match in Dubai he was struggling with that mono, not at full gear.
Easy hold to start for Federer. Before the match, Andy Murray stopped to chat with Mary Jo Fernandez.
Andy, you've looked so relaxed throughout this tournament, including in your big win yesterday over Nadal. How do you feel going out there in your first Grand Slam final?
Yeah, it's a bit of nerves, obviously, but you know, really looking forward to it. I played great all week, and hopefully can keep it going again today. You
have a good record against Roger. What is it about the matchup that you like?
I've always enjoyed playing against the best players. I think it brings the best out of me, and you know, he's played unbelievable the last 4 or 5 years here, so I'm going to have to play a great match if I want to win.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Let's see how Murray conducts his first service game after Federer totally dominant in his.
Hasn't been easy for Andy Murray. He was down 2 sets against Jürgen Molzer in the 3rd round, and then he needed 3 minutes shy of 4 hours to get past Juan del Porto in the quarters, and then he had 65 winners against Nadal in the semis. So they both played their best tennis right before this.
Federer does not challenge. Took a long look. He thought the ball missed the center line.
You could see the wind catch that, so I think you're right about the wind being a factor out there. That's a big serve right up the middle. That's a serve that Andy's developed. He was, because of his improved fitness, he's got a big league serve now that he can get in excess of 130. So that makes his off-speed pitches that much more effective.
He's hit 138 in the championship.
That's why he's so difficult. His ability to keep you off balance, not just off his serve, but off the ground. He loves the drop shot. We'll see that. He can take the pace off the ball. He's incredible at creating angles, and his movement is just remarkable how well he covers the court.
Just wide. The wind carried that wide.
That was. I guess he's not going to challenge.
1-1. Roger Federer and Mary Jo.
Roger, it's your 5th consecutive final, 5th different opponent. How much does the experience you've had over the last few years help you today?
Well, I'm not as nervous anymore like in my first final, but it's definitely always exciting, and looking forward to a great match against Andy. You know, it's the first time he's in a slam, so it should be a good match.
You've had tough matches against Andy in the past. What will you need to do to overtake him today?
play well and then hope for the best to arrive to me. But I'm excited. You know, I'm feeling well. I played great against Djokovic, so confidence is good. That's what I need right now.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
Federer taking care of the high hopes of the 20-year-old Serb Djokovic, and now aims at the 21-year-old from Scotland, Murray, and has won 6 straight service points.
There's a palpable sense of excitement in the Federer camp because they finally saw the old Roger last round. You should seeing Roger put on a brave face. Oh, I'm still playing well and everything's okay, but the light went on the other day. In particular, that first set, when he saw how subdued Djokovic was, he took quick advantage, as he's going to try to do here, because obviously he knows Murray is just unbelievably nervous playing his first final. Trying to get a quick lead. We can't underestimate there's some pressure on Roger, though, because it's been a bit of a lost year. He hasn't won a major.
With all the success, hard to call him hungry, but he is.
That hangs in.
How does he get that angle on the run?
Well, Roger's going to be frustrated because he was there, and he thought it was going to float wide, but the wind kept it in. He knows Andy's fast. That's a given, but he could have tracked that down, but he stopped running for it.
Continues to go wide in that deuce court, 40-30.
That's a smart play for him to open the court up. His serve is big enough where he can really hurt Andy on that second shot. Serves bigger than Nadal's.
Serving with the wind from this end. It's 2-1 underway in New York, the men's championship of the U.S. Open. Harry Connick just before the match today with America the Beautiful, punctuated by a flyover. In championship form, and here is Andy Murray serving at 1-2. Federer has said that playing in the wind at that end of the court, it's almost impossible to break. You just want to hold your own, hope that you can break when you have the wind at your back.
Coming into this championship match, Murray's been broken 15 times, Roger only 7.
Murray played yesterday, so perhaps a little wear and tear, certainly more than Roger in this tournament, so you add the nerves into it. Those good legs are going to feel a little heavy here for him, especially in some big points early. This is where Rogers feels like he's got a good chance to get a quick lead.
Didn't take long, John, for the drop shot.
Well, he gave that away again, so he was scrambling big time, and he almost got away with it. He hit a pretty good passing shot, but Rogers got those soft hands. He flicked the ball to the open area.
You saw Rogers' dad, Robert, in the red ball cap. Mom, Lynette, applaud that play. There's Dad.
Not only did that give Roger Federer a tremendous sense of pride to win that gold in the doubles, but I think it gave him some more confidence to move forward, which is going to be the key, I think, to win his 13th slam here today. Nadal was much more hesitant in the bigger moments against Murray the other day.
first break point of this opening set. Federer with a chance at the lead.
These two are cracking the ball in that rally. Roger's so good at blocking the return back. He's shown that in the past against Roddick at Wimbledon, blunting his opponent's pace off the serve. It's tough to ace Roger.
With 32-mile-an-hour serve, swipes away break point.
And that was out wide, so you've got to usually add a few more if you go up the middle. So he really cranked that serve. Roger got it back. He hit it pretty well, that return. It's a good effort by Murray to win that point. Key for him is a high percentage of those first serves.
Late call, but a proper one, and a point for 2-all for Murray. Mirka, longtime friend. They met 8 years ago at the Olympics in Sydney. They must have a big album for all those photographs. Break point against 2-all. And today's matches, as they have been throughout these 2 weeks, brought to you in magnificent high definition by Turbo HD by Dish Network.
Andy's got to feel pretty good that he able to pull that game out. You'd be surprised to see that, perhaps, that Roger has won only one of their 3 matches. Dubai, which is the one match they played this year, was slower, but as Mary mentioned, Roger didn't break serve at all there, and this has really become a weapon for Murray. That serve, if he can get that serve up and above the 60% range, he's going to be in with a chance here.
Pete Sampras hadn't won 4 U.S. Opens in a row, but he, like Roger, had won 4 U.S. Opens coming into his 2000 final against Marat Safin. A big, strong guy with big serves, great returns, a terrific mover, and a 2-handed backhand that went up against Pete's one-handed backhand. This match could become like that match. By the way, Safin won that match.
In straight sets.
Safin handled the pressure so beautifully on that day. Can Andy Murray handle this moment the same way? He has got the kind of game that can beat Roger Federer. He's proven it twice already. It's the same kind of game that got to Pete Sampras with Marat Safin.
Pete Sampras had to play 2 days in a row, though, Mary. At 29, I think he was then, and Roger at 27 gets that day off, that day of rest yesterday. That's a key thing for him. A lot fresher than Pete was that match.
Another big serve from Federer. On serve, 3-2, opening set. Here's one of the top news pros, Bob Schieffer, enjoying visit away from the news bureau to enjoy tennis here in New York tonight. Two, 3, Murray. This date in U.S. Open history and United States tennis history, September 8th, and it's significant in that 6 years ago on this exact date, Pete Sampras beat Andre Agassi in the finals for his 14th record 14th Grand Slam title. And this September 8th, Federer goes for 13.
Well, this is the side you were talking about, Dick, where Roger felt like he could take advantage, a little wind behind him, and crowd trying to encourage him. I first got wind of Andy about 4 years ago when I saw him at the French Open Juniors. They were talking about him as a big-time player. He later won the U.S. Open Juniors. Monfils at that time, the Frenchman, who's about 30 in the world now, he plays with a lot of flair. He was going for the Grand Slam in the juniors and lost it because Murray was able to get through. And then in Wimbledon the next year, he made a breakthrough. I mean, that's where his experience comes in for him a little bit. He's been playing on center court for the past 3 years there. But he wasn't fit enough then.
Another chance for Federer to break points to grasp the lead in the opening set.
He had Nalbandian in 2 sets that year, lost in 5, beat Roddick the next year, and then got flat, and it was his first ever second week in a slam.
The break for Federer. Murray's going to challenge the call.
Yeah, that's not going to win that one. That's a break for Murray.
He's not been very good at this. 17 times he's challenged, been right only 3. Here's the chase review. And it is out, and it's a 4-2 lead for Federer.
And finally, the breakthrough for Murray was this year, really, where the fitness paid off. He finally got in his head, look, I really got to step it up. And he came from 2 sets down in a break against Gasquet at Wimbledon, finally got to a quarter. And Mary mentioned he was 2 sets down here. Jürgen Meltzer, not exactly a household name, but could use a little luck right now because he's tightened up here at this point in the match. Hardly surprising.
Mother Judy on her birthday, former Scottish national coach who has raised 2 sons to be top professionals. Older brother Jamie, excellent doubles player, won Wimbledon doubles a year ago with Jelena Jankovic.
Well, obviously Federer saw the match with Nadal Murray yesterday and saw how far back Murray was, and he's obviously come out with the idea, look, if he hits that short, he chips that forehand, he's going to come in and take it early and be aggressive. And he's some good net play. Back it up with one of the greatest shots in the history of our sport, that forehand. And he's got a little extra time on this side. I mean, so you're in all types of trouble there. This is what happened against Djokovic the other day in the semis. And what we've watched the past 4 or 5 years en route to these 12 slams.
And another forehand as he tries to seal the break advantage and move to 5-2.
And he's going to have to do more with the return. That's pretty clear. You can't just sit there and just push the ball back. This guy's not as physically weary. All caught up to Nadal the other day.
That's the first bad swing he's had.
That's just what I was going to say.
He's been throwing in a few of those during the course of the year, uncharacteristically for Federer, but starting in that semifinal, his game is so clean. Roger Federer a game away from the opening set. And Slam season finale here in New York at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center, and Roger Federer looking for his 5th consecutive U.S. title has a 5-2 lead. 107-1 his record against players outside the top 5 in Grand Slam matches. His only loss to Kierton at the French. That was in the 3rd round in 04. Although technically Murray on this day is now the 4th player in the world, not the 6th. He moved up 2 notches with his play the past 2 weeks.
Doesn't want to do with new balls and the wind behind him is lose serve here.
Love the game.
He was in a stage yesterday against Nadal where he had gotten down a break in the 4th. At love 30, he pulled out of a game and eventually won that set. This is just one break, and this is the side he'd have a better chance to break on.
Miles McLaughlin, Scottish coach, came into the Murray camp about 9 months ago when Brad Gilbert, former coach, was released. Now Murray had Federer on the run, but then his error, 15-30.
What he doesn't want to do, which we've seen a lot in the past, is get negative out there. When he starts looking up at his crew over there, he's got 2 physiotherapists, 2 trainers, I should say, 1 physio.
That's 3.
He's got his coach.
4.
Well, that's good for the starters. And his mom and his dad are here.
And his own marketing PR guy.
That I didn't know. Got him.
Just moving so much better than Murray. We talk so much about what a good mover Andy Murray is, but he's being made to look a little slow out there in this final so far.
Rogers absolutely crushing the ball, and there's Murray's team, and they're not too thrilled so far. This is not that surprising, let's be honest. The first set of first slam against Roger, who's very sharp. 2 set points he's got.
And Murray, who had never been past the quarterfinals in a Grand Slam event, this by far his best effort into the finals. 1 set point denied. And there's the set to Federer. 6-2. Back in New York, the ageless, dapper Tony Bennett here amongst the many stars to follow the 2 tennis stars, Andy Murray and Roger Federer, men's final.
That may have been the hat that Fred Perry wore when he won the Open here.
Regis here. He's happy as Notre Dame Irish squeaked out a win against San Diego State Saturday. Almost unbeatable when he wins the first set in a slam.
This is where he's got to get his act together, Murray. I mean, he's in his first final, but he's playing well enough. And he's got this opportunity here to
first set, he just couldn't get into any Federer service game.
Well,
Federer only allowed 5 points.
Well, he's serving quite well, obviously. For the match, he's at almost 80% for a set, so that's pretty difficult. Plus, he's nervous. Plus, he's a little his legs are a little heavy because of the nerves and that effort against Nadal. And Rogers moving really well. He has the wind here. He's just, that's why he's starting to get frustrated out there. Because you figure a set, okay, you can throw away a set to nerves. Still have time to come back in a best of 5, but he doesn't want to get down here early in the second.
That's how Federer played in his first set against Djokovic in the semis. He had 83% first serves and 13 winners and just 3 errors. First set against this guy, 76%, 2 breaks, 9 winners.
British fans here and watching at home, 11:15 in England and Scotland. Tellies are on.
Collection of forehands from Roger Federer, and this has been the shot that has made him so dominant in the last couple of years.
Well, that's right on cue, Mary. The pursuit of perfection presented by Lexus features that forehand.
Now, it's been awful lot this year for Roger. He hasn't really been able to rely upon it, but he is so relaxed, and he's got his timing back because he's moving so well. You see a guy who's going to swing that big and have that kind of racket speed off a forehand. You've got to be confident and you've got to be relaxed, and he's both today.
5 straight games to the 4-time defending champion.
This is about experience and taking advantage of that. Roger has come out with just intimidating force, and the serve is such a good rhythm right now. That day off for him really seems to have helped him. His legs are so alive out there.
Murray not staying in the rallies the way he did against Nadal in the semis.
Rogers hitting through the ball more than Nadal. There's more on his ball than we saw in the semis the last 2 days. It was over a 2-day period. It's either the physical after effects or the nerves or a combination, but he's not in full gear yet, and for sure. That's it.
Quickly to a love 30.
He's talked about the second serve needing improvement, and clearly there at 73 miles an hour, the way Rogers hitting the ball, he's going to be in trouble if he has to hit a lot of those.
Thank you.
15. Underlining his dominance in this U.S. Open Championship, 33 consecutive match wins for Federer here in New York. 34 would bring him a 5th title.
Interesting choice there, but he chose to just kick that serve to the Federer backhand and just work this side over, which clearly he needs to do. There's 3 straight errors off the backhand. Maybe get him this game.
It's amazing that Federer has not won a hard court title, only 2 all year, and those were minor events in Estoril on clay and Halle on grass before Wimbledon, while Murray, the server, is 3 hard court titles. 133 miles an hour on that serve.
It's got to seem harder after he spun the last 3 serves in. Makes that feel like it's in the 140s.
Thank you.
That call from the chair umpire, Carlos Bernardes, from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Also sends a good message when he slices it. He's not panicking. And that wouldn't be hard to do the way Roger's hitting his forehand. He gets a little unlucky here that it clips the leg cord, sits up for Roger.
Bernardes, the honor of calling this championship match.
Roger pulled back a little on his backhand, even daring Murray to come in. He didn't look like he really wanted to go to net. Roger's got a quick chance for this early break.
-9 winners to errors. Bad start for Murray. Great players will do that to you. Set and a break for Federer.
As dazzling as the shot making is, it's the footwork that continues to impress me. This is what's been missing from his game all year.
Second set.
But the other thing that's impressive is that he's sort of beating Murray at his own game, because Murray's known for giving you some different looks, softballing you, then following you by hitting a big penetrating shot, and he is just outwitting him totally early in this match.
Jose Aguirre there on the far right in the white, who's worked with Murray through the course of the year, not a full-time, with Federer through the course of the year, not a full-time coach, mind you, but a consultant.
Finally, a glimpse of court coverage that we come to expect from him. It's helped him get here to this first final. And that shot there is an awesome one. And one of the best in the business.
Thank you.
He can take it when it's up high and hurt you. This seems like a really important game for him to win here.
Sizzling return, and here's Murray with 3 chances to break that.
But what he's able to do on this second serve is to finally start to step in. And he's hitting that one with confidence, and this is going to give him a huge boost of confidence.
First break points for Murray. And he breaks it love back in this second set. .org.
Again, 6 for now, please.
Now fans of Murray allowed some life here to cheer him on after he breaks back. down a set and a break until that last game. See if he can maintain the level of play.
That's also a good sign that he's moving forward now. He seemed a little unwilling and unsteady in the beginning about coming to net. He's a good net player with
15
excellent hands.
Mi casa es su casa, says Billie Jean King. This whole National Tennis Center named after the 4-time champion. She's got a book out called Pressure's a Privilege, a saying she's had from the time she was playing professional tennis. Let's see if Annie Murray agrees with that. Roger Federer surely seems to like it.
He's accepted that role, hasn't he?
15
He's been very privileged through the years.
He loves to play. We were so lucky that he's played so much, and it seemed to catch up to him a little bit at certain parts of this year. Maybe part of why he got the money. Who knows? But he certainly seems fresh out there today. He's got a busy schedule after this. I mean, he's playing Davis Cup in 10 days. He's entered in 4 events in the fall in addition to the Masters. I'm pretty lucky the guy loves to be out there so much.
Murray looks across the net at his opponent. In 4 years, so much has happened for him. 4 years ago, he was a fan after winning the junior title here, and they gave him tickets to see the men's final. The year before, he'd seen the women's final as Anna defeated Clijsters, but when he won the boys title, he got tickets to the men's final, and it was Federer winning his first of 4 as he defeated Leighton Hewitt.
Well scooped by Murray there to save himself. This little half volley from the baseline. Agassi was the first that I remember perfecting that shot. Not only a defensive play, but sometimes offensive.
So from spectator to playing, the great Federer in 4 years for this coveted title.
If Murray can start drawing a good bead on this Federer serve, it'll make this match a lot more tense. Might force Rogers' service percentage to go down because he'll feel like he's got to hit his spots a little bit better. Has a very agile, tactical mind, and that has not been what's let him down through the years when he has looked flat and disorganized in his matches. It's, as his former coach Brad Gilbert would say, it wasn't mental, it was emotional. He'd get down on himself, he'd become hangdog.
Thank you.
6 straight points against Federer's serve won by Murray.
He's using that energy much more positively, particularly these last couple months. I mean, it was easy there, 2-love down, to get down on himself, and he didn't.
Oh my! Simple break point.
To be overwhelmed at that stage where everything was working for Roger, and to come back this way now is going to get Roger thinking a bit now, because he's on quite a run. Murray, a chance to go up here for the first time.
After struggling to win a point in that opening set on Federer's serve, he's broken at love, and now he has Federer at love 40 in this game.
It's windy and it's tricky up there at net. He's played a couple loose volleys here.
Not only series. He won 7 in a row. He's won 11 of the last 12 points. Ball was called out. Federer with a challenge here, and the chase review will indicate whether or not Federer scored an ace. No, it was
Second service.
wide.
That's 2 straight forehands off the line. He doesn't want to cut it quite that close.
15 Bolton. Roger Federer has 2 challenges remaining.
A little more deliberate now. This is a key moment in the second set. Having lost his serve and his lead in the set, and Murray a chance to take the lead.
Missing a lot of serves right now. Stop it, and Murray's going to walk over there and look and go, wait a second, wasn't that out? He would have had to stop the point right then. He's right, it looked out.
Let's see what the chase review, just out of curiosity. Was it long? Yes, it was. That would have been a game.
Oh boy, this is my problem with the challenge system. The guy earned the game already. He should be serving.
Roger was definitely, the heartbeat was racing a bit here. He couldn't get these balls away, and he almost missed this one there. Wind was really moving it. It was a tough shot. Murray furious about the previous call. More than that point.
And
this could change this whole match.
What do you recommend they do there, though, during a point?
Well, the lines person misses the call. It's not the challenge system's fault.
The challenge, there shouldn't be a challenge. Why should a player have to make his own calls? Why can't it be called?
Go back after the point?
Why not? Why can't it just be electronically called in or out? That's the whole point of this thing.
Why do we need linesmen? Good call there.
Pleases me so much when you two agree.
Players don't understand how unfair the system is. They really don't. And the fans in the stadium don't realize, because it's not shown if it wasn't a challenge. They don't realize that Murray should have won this game already. Probably some of them do. Some of them saw how far out Rogers' ball was.
We used to be able to, when I first started playing, you could play a point out on clay. You could play 20, 30 shots, and then after the point, if you lost, you'd go back. Did that ball 20 balls ago? That was out. And you would win the point. That didn't seem real fair either.
Well, the champion with a little luck gets out of love 40.
Except to me. Except to me.
On serve in the second, Federer the first set. Let's take a look at our Exxon Mobil Swing Vision.
He's certainly beefed up his physique here over the last couple of years, year in particular. And that serve, especially the first one's become quite a weapon. And don't forget, he's 6'3".
And how about how flexible he is as well, John? I mean, you get an awful lot of power from that.
Well, that ball's going to be not challenged. Andy's feeling like there are these linesmen are against him right now, and he's got a reason to be miffed at the moment. The break was his, and this is going to be could be a huge momentum swing here. Looked like he didn't land the way he would have liked on that point. He's down 6-1, 2-0. Look, 6-2, 2-0. Run out of the building. He got that good run. He should be serving 3-2. But he's flexing that leg a little. He perhaps came down a little gingerly that first point. He's played more tennis, obviously, these last couple weeks than he ever has. He's never been past a quarter. He's had 3 long matches here. 4 actually out of the 6 were quite long and difficult to get to this final.
That match against Juan Martin del Potro, the 19-year-old Argentine, what a tough effort that was. That young man is the serious deal.
Let's see why Murray's grabbing at his right leg a little bit. Right there.
Well, he certainly moved well that last point. It was his movement that saved him, because he made Roger hit that extra ball.
That was kind of a late-ish call.
And Federer is going to challenge.
Federer challenged the call.
Chase
at the
review.
left baseline. The ball was called out.
Roger has challenged 25 times, been right 5 times coming into the match, and he's unsuccessful again on the challenge.
Federer has 1 challenge remaining.
Doesn't bother him. He uses them because they're there.
Because they're there, umpires. When you got to complain to someone, can't blame it on myself, right?
You got ears, don't they?
Roger likes the technology. It's the application of it that he takes issue with. I keep hearing people say, "Oh, everyone loves it. Everyone loves it." The rightness of a decision is not determined by the number of its supporters.
Please. Thank you.
What office are you running for? Mayor of Naples, Mary Carrillo.
There will not be a challenge system in my city.
You guys are laughing, but the failure of the challenge system in that game could cost Andy Murray a chance to win this match.
But without
How about the linesman missing the call?
Yeah, that's my problem with it. They missed the call. It would have stuck.
Yeah, but if you can wire up this court so that anything close to the lines gets called out immediately, the problem goes away. The technology is used perfectly.
Old-fashioned as I am, I like the human element.
I do too. Why? They don't have to go away. Most calls aren't that close.
Well, what do you need him for, then? If you got that computer jacked up, ready to go. Get rid of him once and for all.
To your final breath. A door slightly ajar for Murray at 15:30.
Well, he broke serve against the wind, back to 2-love down, and now he's looking to do it again here. It's quite the effort for Murray after not getting that break just a few games ago.
Keep in mind, we just showed the unforced errors by both guys. They're making a lot more errors than the lines people.
you ever try to grow a beard or mustache while you were playing? I don't remember that if you did.
I did go, if it was a good luck thing, probably with Andy. It's like Bjorn used to do at Wimbledon. He'd win the French, and then he wouldn't shave until he won or lost Wimbledon, which he won so often he'd have a beard at the end. I'd sleep in my head if it would help me win the tournament.
Murray's getting frustrated because Roger Federer looks like he's going to get away with this game, even though he's serving at 46% in this set.
CBS Sports coverage of the Open continues after this word from your local station. Because of his play during the summer in the U.S. Open Series, he would receive a bonus of another $500,000. Just to get here, he's assured of $250,000.
Murray's feeling that knee's not right. It appears like he just looked over at his camp and just grabbed the knee, and that's not a good sign, obviously, because he relies so much on speed. If he can't put his weight on it, this is going to be over.
Well, he has a congenital problem with that right knee. It's in 2 parts instead of the normal singular patellar bone.
That really doesn't sound too
That doesn't sound good, but he's always had it.
It's
Just
in 2 parts?
Help me out there. 2 parts.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all.
Didn't have the x-rays at hand, or I'd show you. All in Sherry. Well, this is his best service game of the match. 40 love quickly.
Maybe that's why he has 2 trainers.
And a physio.
One, the upper part of the knee and the lower part.
There's the training core, the 3 men who keep Murray fit. Trained in Florida. They had him running 400 meters. Said after having to go through that kind of regimen, playing tennis seemed easy. A slider for the game. It's 4-all. How about Gary Unmarried? Comedy that hits home. Gary Unmarried is coming to CBS Wednesday, September 24th. A lot of exciting new shows ahead here on CBS this fall. Hope you'll sample and enjoy.
Thank you.
By set, Murray dropping his unforced, and Federer's count is up from only 7 in the first set to a dozen already here in the second. And there's another.
And you feel like for Murray, I mean, he's come back a couple times, including once here, 2 sets, but this feels like he said he's got to win, or he's going to let that sort of the pain that he's feeling in that knee get in his head even more. If he wins this, that adrenaline rush may help him just not think there's a problem at all. Showing some pretty good hops here as he continues to move forward. That's good reflex action there. It's got Murray scrambling, that's for sure.
That overhead became a souvenir. Ball into the stands here at the Open. Fans can keep it as a take home. for 15-30.
It's a great save here by Roger, but Andy's got to make him hit this passing shot. A little over-eager there. He looked at the court as if it skidded on him. It didn't hit a line.
On the run, short compact forehand winner.
He guessed. He left early, and Roger normally can hold that ball a little longer and just flick it either way. You see him moving there. He looks like he read Roger's ball.
4-all, 30-all here in the second set. This is the worrisome end, and Federer has talked about it, serving from that far side in the windy conditions. He's not as bad as they were midweek. 5-4 on serve. Murray, pressure on him to stay in the second set when we come back. This Monday night, men's final, bringing out the stars. Good to see Paul Simon with us. Andy Murray, seeded 6th, ranked 6th, but now 4th because of his success here at the Open. The new ratings announced today. No room for error, however, at 4-5, down a set.
It's a classic case of having to know what side of the court you're on and giving yourself that safety margin. Ball came back in a hurry, caught it late, missed it well wide there. That's why he's banging his head with his racket after that point.
Approaching 6:30 in the East as we look at our match summary.
A lot more errors for Federer as this match has progressed, but do you feel like
mixing up that forehand, Murray.
because you know Roger's trying to seize this moment right here and take the 2 sets lead. And he's a little frustrated himself. There's a couple more unforced errors those last 2 points. It's a little edgy now for Roger as well. It's 3 forehands this game. You don't see that very often. Certainly not the last 4 years.
And a hold for 5-all.
CBS Slow Motion shows something that shows what Federer did not do in that last game. A bunch of errors. Here, and this just shows so beautifully how quickly he moves to the ball to set himself up, to allow himself to freely swing away for winners. Forehand can be so overpowering, but not in that last game.
Well, the British fans hope it's an omen. This is the 40th year of Open play, and in 1968, Virginia Wade of Great Britain won the women's title. And No man from Great Britain has won the U.S. title in 72 years. Fred Perry, the statue there at the All England Club, won Wimbledon in 36 and the U.S. Championship in 36. And that's the last time a Brit has won their own. Last time they won over here.
That thing was past him and tailing away from him, and he still got it back.
You would have thought he'd try to catch that in the air because it was rather short. You see, that barely got past the service line. And I think he saw that it was a miss hit, so he made the extra effort, and that paid off big time.
There's an example of how sweet his hands are. And comparisons flattering to John McEnroe, Andy Murray. Nice soft hands.
And he's the one who's moving better in this game. Another flat-footed error from Roger Federer. Look at the hustle from Murray, and he's so strong. He was able to just flick that thing by, set himself up in a good position to draw an error from Roger.
To be quite honest, Roger should have moved in. In the old days, you hit a lob over someone's head, you move in, but I don't think he thought he was going to track it down.
He didn't think he needed to.
Second set. Murray will serve for a tiebreak when we come back to New York. In the second set, Federer jumped ahead 2-love. Then Murray broke Federer. And then in the next Federer game at 15:40, this shot, as play continued, Murray did not challenge. The call was in, and obviously had he challenged, he would have won that game and would be in the lead instead of fighting to get into a tiebreak.
Absolutely beautiful return from Federer there. And he likes to really finish his shot and use a lot of topspin. He just shuffled that second forehand for a winner. Nicely done.
Sometimes bad luck, Lady Bad Luck comes and brings her knitting, and that was the case for Murray.
Also.
Great soft volley by Federer.
Is that footwork again that saved him? He took those couple small steps that got him in position.
Remain quiet between first and
That
second
is
serve.
nice, dropping just inside the line, and people were yelling during that rally, which is clearly annoying to both guys.
Please.
Boy, enough of the touch. That ball was almost behind Federer. And here he is, 2 points from a 2-set lead, the 4-time champ.
Such a smart play to move in off a second serve, hit it with some good depth. The pressure's on, obviously, for Murray. It's much tougher to come up with a shot like that when you're with the win. Hit a topspin lob. Rogers got triple set point.
And a roar of triumph from Federer. He has a 2-set lead. York. He's shown how much he cares. And he celebrates a 2-set lead. And Andy Murray, in frustration, unable to get to a tiebreak. And Federer now 2 sets up, a set away from number 5 in a row.
What a way to take that second set with 4 winners in that last game. If the defending champion continues to be the attacking champion, he can shut this down in straight sets. It would mean the absolute world to him. A guy whose goal this year was to break Pete Sampras's record 14 majors, and who's come up empty so far.
Lost in the semis in Australia, lost the finals of French and Wimbledon to Nadal.
Not only is he scoring big off the ground, but the defending attacking champion has been up to net 29 times and won 20 of them from there, compared with just 6 times to the net from Andy Murray. And of course, as he gets older, Murray, and he gets in tighter to the baseline, he'll allow himself to get into the net more. He still plays from pretty far back. He plays tighter. That goes wide. He plays tighter to the baseline on grass, which is why Roger Federer maintains that's still his best surface.
He's got to do more of the second serve. I mean, Roger hasn't hit a first serve in yet. Andy's only won 1 of these points. And he's shown a complete unwillingness to move into the net. And when you're 10 feet behind the baseline, that's awful appealing play for Roger. He's playing far better than those stats appear. Let me just put it that way. This is the guy that we've watched the last 4 years win 12 majors.
Seals the opening game of the 3rd set with an ace. Sliding it out wide at 101. That's worked effectively throughout this match.
Everyone thinks of him as the greatest grass court player, winning 5 Wimbledons in a row. Now he's trying to win 5 U.S. Opens in a row as well, and not too many players have done that.
Big Bill Tilden, way back in the 1920s, able to win 6 in a row.
And to some pretty snappy music, too.
Didn't they put Metallica on, you know, a Bill Tilden win?
Of course, played on grass at Forest Hills. Tilden, the dominant player of his time. And in fact, the French ganged up on him. They got the 4 Musketeers to beat Tilden and the Americans late in the 1920s in the Davis Cup, and that led to the building of Roland Garros Stadium.
Thanksgiving is here. Cut the turkey, my goodness.
Love of him.
He's got that 2 sets lead. He knows how far back Murray's playing. And to time that like that, have it spin back towards the net, is quite a beautiful thing to watch. Seeping out of the balloon, man. You can feel it slipping away from Murray, physically, mentally. That's a shot he normally makes easily. He's going for bigger serves now, which means he's not quite as sure of himself when he gets in these baseline exchanges. His movement moving forward is not nearly as good as the side to side. It just doesn't look like he really wants to come in. That's why Roger's bringing him in. Thank you very much. Easy winner.
3 break points early here in the third set for Federer. And the Swiss champion about to give the young Scot, a spanking here for the U.S. Open title. Up 2 sets and now an early break in the third. Tonight on CBS begins with your favorite comedies. On CBS, The Big Bang Theory, How I Met Your Mother, 2.5 Men, and The New Adventures of Old Christine. That's then at CSI Miami. That's all tonight on CBS.
Thank you.
And Dave, he's got a great week of entertainment for you after your local news.
15 round.
Nine winners in the last 14 points. He tends to be a pretty good front runner, this guy.
Finally, a chance for the Murray fans to cheer.
15 all.
He's basically testing Murray's will right now, seeing how much he's even willing to dig down to hang in there in this third set. Doesn't want to do is what he did in the second set. He got up the early break and let it slip away, especially now when the door is closing.
Thank you. Please. Roger Federer's trying to call.
Challenge from Federer. Thought he had an ace.
The ball's gone out.
Chase review coming up.
Second service.
Doesn't bother him that he's so rarely right.
Two or three different times, Murray, to me, should have moved forward and made Federer hit a backhand pass.
Interesting on the challenge system. That's for the entire 2 weeks. Players are right about 1/3 of the time.
Thank you.
1/3 of the time they're resting, and 1/3 of the time it's.
See, you were only right when you argued like that. Well, I guess those were the times you were 1/3 right.
That wide serve to the deuce court especially has been such a good one for Roger. He sees how far back Nadal is and he takes advantage.
Oh, Murray. What again?
Well, if he ever were somehow miraculously able to come back, this would be the turning point of the match right here, because he was out of this game. You would have thought he may not even have tried for it, nor done as much with it, and Roger was standing there.
Shocked that ball came back over the net. What an effort.
You can hear his sneakers squeak, and that was because he sort of pretended like I was going to move forward, and he just threw Murray just enough that it went long on him.
Point for a 3-love lead here in the third. once again. 3 games away from another title. Attendance records 720,000 plus for the 2 weeks of the tournament. Most U.S. Open titles. Connors and Sampras with 5. Federer trying to join that combo with McEnroe and Lendl 4 wins here in New York. Federer showing such a complete talent. Doesn't need to hang on the baseline. He's come forward, played really aggressively, taken away the net time and time again.
Well, it's a beautiful thing to think, and ironic that the doubles at Beijing, and he's talked about it, making him more comfortable at net, and may very well be the reason why he wins this. He's coming a lot more.
Murray's second double. Mama Judy, it's not the best of birthday presents for her. That's Kim Sears, the young lady, girlfriend of several years, 21.
They better start pumping her up now, because it's bad enough it's 3-love. I mean, imagine if it's 2 breaks.
Here he comes again.
Then he's going to have to start worrying about getting bageled here. Well, he doesn't have a lot on his second serve. It's allowing Roger to just move in, hit a good approach shot, and just doesn't look like he's there anymore.
Murray has not hit a first serve in this entire set. That was the first one, and Federer bangs home another winner. Breaks him at love for the second time in this set. A 4-love lead. He's only 2 away from the championship.
This is total desperation. He hasn't done this a whole match. And when you're 2 sets down, 3-love, 40-love, I mean, it takes some of the pressure off this great champion. I mean, it's cruise control now. Did someone tell him the local news is at 7 or something? It's unbelievable.
Get out the silver polish.
15
9 straight points for Federer as he moves quickly toward closing the deal. Conceding this set, Murray, at this point.
Well, as you see him, this is going to be 13. He's going to be 1 away from Sampras at 14. And he might be feeling like, hey, maybe it's easier for me if I come in more often. This is working pretty well right now.
They're a point away from 5-love, and Murray's won only 3 points the entire set. The master.
Master's back.
And he is dealing a rude lesson to the young Scot. Now Andy Murray trying to at least put a game on the board here in the 3rd set as Federer closing in on the championship. And almost a perfect set for him. Human on that volley. When he beat Leighton Hewitt in 2004 for his first U.S. Open title, Federer had 2 bagel sets against the Australian.
Now he's out now toying with him.
Talking about wiring the line so they could be called, Mary. It's almost as if Federer has that in his whole human system. He plays as if with his eyes closed he could keep the ball in the court.
Got to get the moral victory here. Nice hold serve. This type of effort in the third set. I mean, Rogers playing well, don't get me wrong, but he take away a little bit of what he's accomplished. He's moved too far forward to let that happen at this point. Not playing with any energy at all.
Murray does get a game here in the third. It all began the Fed Express over Leighton Hewitt in straight sets. 2005, American Andre Agassi was defeated for the title. In 2006, another American, Andy Roddick, fell. And in 2007, last year, it was Novak Djokovic, victimized by the great play of the Swiss maestro.
He looks pretty finished, huh? It's over for him. Never going to win another.
Cancel those obituaries. See some of the fans testing out their flash photography, getting ready for that climactic moment.
People have seen that he's vulnerable and human is actually part of why the crowd has really been so supportive of him these last 2 weeks. Gave him a huge round of applause when he came out in the court.
He even said, "I'm feeling a bit like a New Yorker."
It's beautiful to see him this emotional during this event as well. During some of the tougher times and tough matches, and now here when he knows it's going to be over in a couple minutes.
The adrenaline maybe pumping a little too much right now, but he has made a quality player like Andy Murray look downright scruffy out there today. You really have to admire the scope of this achievement, so thoroughly dominating 2 major events, Wimbledon and the U.S. Open.
You're starting to wonder why he couldn't have done that a little earlier. The crowd gave him some big encouragement at 5-love, but this, talk about a tall order.
Please.
Puts a little delay in the system. Back live, almost 7 o'clock in the East. Look at the Manhattan skyline as back into Arthur Ashe Stadium. Andy Murray breaking Federer, and now trying to keep this third set going at 2-5.
Keeps trying that shot. That topspin lob with the wind behind him. That's incredibly hard to pull off. Because the ball's going to fly on you a little bit.
Thank you.
distance away from the finish line again is Federer, who has, in the last 4 years, starting in 2004, started to write his name into the history of tennis. This year's chapter is much smaller, but he's about to put some bold print in his 5-year run as he goes for a first ever 5 straight in 2 different Grand Slam events. Down 2 sets, and Murray trying to muster a challenge late.
Well, when Roger ran around this backhand, he was out of position, and Andy was quick to take advantage of that. It'd be interesting, Dick, if he's able to hold. Certainly, it'd give Federer something to think about. There's a shot he should have made and didn't. Would have given him a couple match points. Points off his serve. He's not getting many serves in, yet he still may be able to hold here.
Well, at least tidying up the scoreline. Miles an hour and batting practice forehand for Federer.
Well, that's what he thought he was going to do at 15-30, and again, Murray is missing so many first serves that he can't possibly extend this much longer if he doesn't start winning some points, getting some in.
Oh my goodness, that almost went to the baseline. And the double fault gives Roger Federer championship point.
Thank you. Please.
Well, that's the way to save yourself. That's the best serve he's hit this set for sure. And he had to hit a pretty tough volley there. At least it was to the open court, but Roger really belted that forehand. He's just looking at his knee like, I just can't move like I usually can. And just very negative about that.
Another point for number 5. disappointing season by his high standards comes to a joyous end in New York as he has won this title once again, his 13th major title, one behind Sampras.
Well, that's exactly what Andy Murray said to him. Don't believe for a second you haven't had a great year. You've been in 3 finals, the greatest match ever played, I think, at Wimbledon a couple months ago with Nadal. Semis in Australia, and here he is, Grand Slam number 13.
Well, we'll get the reaction of Murray and Federer, the trophy ceremony and celebration to follow here on CBS as Roger Federer. New York, New York. He's won it again.
Roger Federer has waited patiently all year for this 13th Grand Slam to come. He doesn't have to wait anymore. Let's go down for the trophy presentation. Here's Dick Enberg.
Well, New York, a memorable, historical night. Let's give a hand for these two great competitors. It's my pleasure now to introduce the chairman of the board, the president of the USTA, Jane Brown Grimes.
Thank you, Dick. On behalf of the USTA, I want to thank all of you great fans for this another record-breaking U.S. Open. And thank you, New York City, the greatest sports town in the world. Andy, your tremendous play during these 2 weeks has entertained this New York crowd and a worldwide audience, especially back home in Great Britain. We know you'll be back. And Roger, a record-breaking 5th consecutive U.S. Open championship. Your talent, heart, and character truly define you as one of the greatest ever to play this sport. You know, you said you wanted the trophy, and we're happy to give it to you. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you, Jane. Well, just 4 years ago, the man in the red shirt was out here winning his first U.S. Open title. Now a 21-year-old from Great Britain is here. He was here as a fan, as a 17-year-old. He won the boys singles, and now he's advanced up to the ranks, and for only the 3rd time in 40 years of the Open era, a player from Great Britain has made it to a major final, and it's Andy Murray. Well, I know it's bittersweet for you, Andy, but your accomplishment is by far your best effort, all the way to the final of a major. What are your feelings now?
Yeah, you know, I had a great tournament. Came up against, in my opinion, the best player ever to play the game today. I got the better of him the last 2 times we played, and he definitely set the record straight today, so congratulations, well done.
So what did you learn from the experience?
That I got a lot of improving to do if I want to win one of these tournaments. I love playing in front of this crowd. I played 3 matches on Arthur Ashe. It's been the best time of my life.
Well, Andy, to soothe your wounds, in addition to making it to the finals, you also finished 2nd in the Olympus U.S. Open Series earlier this summer. And as an Open finalist, the USTA will be adding $250,000 bonus to your $750,000, so you leave New York with $1 million. Congratulations. The CEO of professional tennis for the USTA, Arlen Kantarian, will present the runner-up trophy. Congratulations, Andy Murray. We'll see you back soon. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the history-making champion of the 2008 United States Open, Roger Federer. You said earlier this week you're starting to feel a little bit like a New Yorker.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that is, but definitely feels great. I can tell you that this is a very special moment in my career. Had a couple of tough Grand Slams this year, finishing semifinals and 2 finals, one epic at Wimbledon. So to take this one home is incredible. So you can even, it means the world to me. Thank you.
Just to underline what we've all witnessed tonight, in the entire history of tennis, there never has been a player who has won 5 consecutive majors in 2 different Grand Slams until tonight. 5 straight at Wimbledon, 5 straight at the U.S. History-making Roger Federer. Last question. This is number 13. You're not superstitious, are you?
Oh, one thing's for sure, I'm not going to stop at 13, right? That would be terrible. So, no, look, there's a great bunch of guys right behind me, or now in front of me as well, like Andy. Congratulate you as well. You've done great this last couple of weeks. I'm sure we're going to see much more of Andy in the future as well. But then I really feel the tennis is in a great place right now. You know, we have incredible athletes out there at the moment, you know, a lot of fair play. And just for me, I love playing the tour, you know, and I love playing in front of crowds like you guys. You guys make it also worthwhile, you know, practicing on the practice courts. To make it all the way here is just an incredible feeling for us players. And I'd just like to thank you from the bottom of my heart, coming to Madison Square Garden and coming out here for the last couple of weeks. It's just been incredible for me.
Let's see now. Every time we're here, there's all these bonus cards that I have for you. I feel like I'm doing a quiz show.
They're good.
Yeah, they are good, yes. In addition to the $1.5 million in prize money, as the 2008 Open Men's Champion, you will also receive a new Lexus ISF. And here to present that Lexus is Deborah Senior, Lexus Corporate Marketing Manager. Deborah? The keys to the Lexus. And now on behalf of the USTA, the Champions Trophy, presented by Jane Brown Grimes. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the 2008 U.S. Open champion, Roger Federer. And we'll return to New York after this message and a word from your local station.
Roger Federer posing with the trophy after claiming his 13th career Grand Slam title. He is now only one behind Hall of Famer Pete Sampras on the all-time list. And it was on this day, exactly 6 years ago, that Pistol Pete captured his 14th major. And he did it in style against fellow American Andre Agassi right here at Arthur Ashe Stadium. So here's a look back at Pete Sampras closing out his remarkable pro career, serving for his 5th U.S. Open championship.
Pete Sampras, if he wins this championship, he's the oldest U.S. Open men's title holder since Arthur Ashe 27 years ago, when Arthur won in '75. Andre Agassi trying to dig deep and find a breaker of his own and send this one on. 3 points from victory. There they are. Sampras past Emo. Roy Emerson, the great Australian. Borg with 11. Rod Laver, who's here with 11. Tilden won 7 in a row here at the U.S. Open. Agassi, should he win, would move up with a group that has 8 Grand Slams.
This guy Sampras, though, I mean, where does he pull this back?
It's like a man staggering along the ropes, taking punches, barely able to
And then he just knocks you.
Then all of a sudden comes up with a uppercut that knocks away the very thought of going down for the count.
Unreal.
2 points from the championship that would tie him with Jimmy Connors most in the open era. 5 titles here.
Suddenly the juice is back on the serve.
119-mile-an-hour ace, his 33rd of the match, and we've come to match point. Championship point for Pete Sampras for his 14th major title.
Hand it to Moose Stevens, Alex Stover, the people who take care of him. What a standing effort.
Agassi denies the first championship point.
Not yet.
You've even placed more distance between your greatness and the rest of the men that have fought through this history.
He's topped himself.
Great match, Pete. Well, on a football Sunday, he's kicked the extra point. He's got 14. Going to go up and share the moment with wife Bridget. Andre Agassi battled back. It appeared that Agassi, with fresher legs, might make this a tougher task. Go to 5 sets. Somewhere Sampras found something special late in this 4th set to win it all. This is a Pete Sampras that won his first Grand Slam title here 12 years ago. There she is.
There's Moose Stevens. It's overwhelming to even be here. It's unbelievable. Sampras has pulled this off.
Pete Sampras, ladies and gentlemen, came to New York for this United States Open Championship just as a past champion, a man who hadn't won a tournament in 33 tries over 2 years since Wimbledon. Everyone was talking more about when is Sampras going to retire than does he have a chance. Does he have a chance? Oh my! He's the champion.
That was 6 years ago tonight with Patrick McEnroe now, and you know, we're very lucky to have been able to watch 2 of the greatest to ever play the game. Compare the legacies of Pete and Roger.
Well, that was Pete's last match, so this is not Roger Federer's match, and I think obviously you're looking at the 2 greatest players in the Open era for sure. Certainly, they both had a little bit to prove. Pete back in '02 when his career was really tumbling. Federer not tumbling at all, but for him it wasn't a great year, but he had a little chip on his shoulder here at the U.S. Open. Open. And as he's done so many times, come the semifinals and the finals, he saved his best tennis for last. He was dominant today.
And those last two matches, including today, were very special for Roger Federer. Do you think there were times when he wondered, well, maybe I'm not going to win anymore?
I don't think so.
A little bit of doubt?
I think some other people did, but like Sampras back then, he knew he had one more left in him, and I think Roger thinks he's got a few more left in him. He wants to break that record.
Clearly he does. When we come back, we'll show you how Serena Williams won her third U.S. Open crown last night against Jelena Jankovic. That action will come your way right after these messages and a word from your local CBS station. Early September evening, Andy Murray said, I have a lot of improving to do if I'm going to win one of these. Roger Federer knows what it takes. He now has 13 Grand Slam championships. It has been a remarkable career and perhaps more to come. And now let's go down to Mary Jo Fernandez, who's with Roger Federer.
Thanks, Bill. Roger, congratulations. Last few years you've come into this tournament as the favorite. A little different this year. Rank the 13th major in your career where it stands for you.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's the 5 in a row here at the Open that make it so special, because I know how much Wimbledon means to me, and getting this one is incredible.
Talk about the match a little bit. When did you feel that you were in charge and control? Was there ever a doubt?
Well, I think I started well the match. I think I hit the ball well, I served well, and then I put the pressure on Andy, I think. It was, again, quite windy out there, so I had to play with the wind, and I started the second set well as well, so I always had a little bit of a cushion. I think Andy had one chance, I think, when he was up maybe 2-all, up 40 on my serve, and I came back and won that, and maybe that was the key, to stay with him. And then, I played really aggressive on the game I broke, to win the set, and I think that was key, because after that it was always going to be really hard for Andy to come back. And yeah, I just started to play freely the way I usually do, and it was great to have that feeling out here on center court in the final.
You've had a tough year physically. Grand Slams, you've played well. Looking back, how important was that gold medal to give you a confidence coming into this year's US Open?
Oh, it was so inspiring to me, I never thought doubles would do that to me, I mean, I like playing doubles, or I used to like it, and I used to hate it, and then I used to sort of, like it again, and now I love it, So it's been great for me. I think it's really given me a lot of motivation to do well again this, here at the Open, and I got here actually completely forgetting about the loss against James, and just focusing on the positives. That's what I've been doing all year long, really, even though it's been hard after Wimbledon, after Paris. I had some rough losses there, so to come away was the last Grand Slam of the year, and sort of now, just sitting on this, for like, I don't know, 4 months. It's unbelievable.
Pretty special. Congratulations. Tremendous effort, Roger.
Thanks very much, guys.
The fans are still going nuts for Roger. Back up to you, Bill.
All right, Mary Jo, thank you very much. Roger had not won a hard court tournament all year until tonight. And for the 5th consecutive year, he's the U.S. Open men's champion. Back with a lot more from New York right after this.